for a
I'd like to see like scaled next to the moose. That'd be a good size comparison.
Yeah, it's big.
Or a
man.
horse. One of the horses, you know.
Yeah. Did you say it was coming out next year?
I believe so. Now I gotta CC, what's your receipt say? It all in. You get early
I understand this stuff's not supposed to be out till 2025 because everybody's having a fit. Because they're saying, why are we paying in full?
That something would take some time to develop.
Well, they have it sitting right there on the table. It's already made. What the hell?
Yeah, they got one. Don't you just put it in a Xerox machine?
Copy. You just put it in the multiplier. You put it in the multiplier, and it just makes it. That's how it works.
What was the name of the Jetson? Where George Jetson worked?
The multiplier. Yeah.
Sprocket.
God, I need one of those. That'd be awesome.
Space sprockets.
Yeah. Just duplicate them out of there.
I need a multiplier.
Oh, wow. All right. Let's see here. Good crowd already. Appreciate everybody showing up early. This is almost like a test to see who is here for just the diorama and who's here for the content.
They're like, you got any more free stuff? I'm like, no, we're all out.
Yeah, pick it in. Yeah, he didn't put anything up, so
I still demand a recount.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a learning curve. It'll be better next time. I'll make sure that I don't like mess that up. And it was a nice little experience. We'll say that. So hello to everybody that has joined us. The people that just joined in, we were not talking shit about you. So good show tonight. Tonight, episode 138 of the Hangout. Should we timestamp this now, or do we do show foreplay, or what should we do?
Timestamp in case MC leaks something important.
Yeah, that's right.
Leaker.
He's a security risk.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 138 of the Hangout. My name is Paige, and I am joined by two of my nearest and dearest, Mr. Michael Corey and Mr. Corey Christopher, the two Corys. How are you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic, man. Looks like we're doing better than Bobo, unfortunately, though.
Oh, yeah, he's sick. Hope he feels better. Chicken soup. And in case you're wondering, we are here to give you chair modification. All right, we're here to give you positive insight in the world of collecting very chill and relaxed atmosphere. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Got some great topics tonight. We'll do a little show foreplay really quick. You guys ready for that? Or is it too soon? You need a little warm up, even though it's foreplay.
CC's always ready. CC's always ready to get in the mood.
Look at all this glad handing right here. It's like, yeah, they got the people back there. It's like, the merger's done. Now, which one of these guys is losing their job? A little show foreplay.
Oh, I have an idea.
Yeah, I know. I can look at this until he's already losing their job. So tonight's show is properly titled "Let's Make a Deal." Let's make a deal. So really quick, let's do some show foreplay. I wanted to run this by you guys and the chat, of course, and see if you guys would be down for this. So in order to kind of make the show a little bit more inclusive, more involved, is that who's echoing?
Just started all of a sudden.
Me?
Hold on, I'll mute you. Hello? CC, can you hear me?
I can.
It is him. It is you.
It is me.
It is you. Now it's not anymore. We're good. Let's ride the wave. That's part of the show's charm, remember? Everything messes up. So tonight, really quick, so to kind of get everybody involved, and it is you.
Is it like when you lean forward or something?
Oh. I don't know. Maybe he's thought projecting. I don't know. I just muted him. Now we'll unmute him.
I think he's what do you call it when he's wearing a wire?
He is leaker.
Yeah,
Leaker.
Man, it's on next level.
I know. Jeez. Are you wearing a wire? Huh?
No.
Yeah. Let's try to
Yeah,
get it before
see?
the echo comes.
See?
Before the echo comes. So two new show ideas. I want to try to make the show a little bit more hangouty, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do next week, if you guys are down for this, I'll put it on my stories and stuff too. But if you have photos that you took throughout the week and you want to send them in, do me a favor, do that. And these pictures that you see, I figured we'd tear those down and we'll just plaster people's pictures up in the back. You'll get full credit, of course. I'm not trying to pass off the work as mine, but you'll get like nice little Instagram stuff. And for the people that do watch, they'll be able to see your stuff. So again, I'll throw that on Facebook and Instagram, and you can just throw me your pictures. And like I said, I'll put credit and I'll incorporate it in the show. Is that a good idea or no?
Yeah.
That's right, because we make content for the rest of the world.
I love it.
Good. You guys have to.
You said put credit, huh?
Do it.
Send any inappropriate photos
Unique concept.
to CC.
Yeah. Don't be sending like. Don't send like bong pics and that kind of stuff. I'm not into that stuff. No offense, but it's a show that people watch, so we have to kind of be, a little bit cautious of what we're doing. So, but we'll hope you feel better. What did he say about LegionsCon? He got sick from them. He said it, not me. That's what I get for cheating on Mezco at LegionsCon. Yeah, it was a light cheat. You had a liaison there with D, so it makes it okay.
What do they call it? An entanglement?
An entanglement. So yeah, pictures. I'll put them in the show. We'll start that next week. Second thing. The second thing I have for you is I haven't figured it out yet, but what I'll do also is I know we come up with these little topics for the show and everything, but again, to make this more of a hangout, I'll probably throw like a topic question and what you guys want to talk about, and we'll do that every other week. That way we can talk about stuff that everybody that watches the show wants to talk about, right? Again, more inclusive. I talk to HR. So yeah, look for that. Two things, photos and then your ideas. We'll kind of go through them and see what we want to talk about, and we'll put that in the show. Good?
Like it.
Good.
Like it.
MC's really quiet. I don't know if he likes this idea.
No, I think it's great.
I thought you muted him still.
I want all inappropriate photos to go to CC though.
Yeah. With a carbon copy sent to MC.
Yeah.
But see, like this kind of stuff, your photo would be in the back, and then I put your name here, so you'd be able to know who took the photo and everything. We already did it around the cooler. All right, next one. Marvel Overload.
I'm sure glad I said around the cooler.
I know. Oh,
I didn't know
hold
where
on
we
a
were going.
second.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, hold on. Let me put it up. Don't want to
Avert
offend
eyes.
anybody. Yeah. We're gonna lightly talk about this, not too deep because you can probably fall really deep into this show. But yo, what's up? But so we got Loki. We're gonna be talking about Loki right now. So if not, please just kind of mute. I'll take it down when it's done. But lightly talking about Loki, what'd you guys think? Spoiler free-ish.
I had to watch it twice, every episode.
Wow. You liked it then?
Parts. More than I didn't like. I guess, there was more enjoyable stuff in it, but there's a lot of stuff I didn't enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a negative Nancy about the MCU either. Like, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it was...
Did you watch it twice because you were confused or trying to understand a little bit? Yeah.
Definitely confused. Like, there was a lot going on. Trying to figure out... I'm trying not to say anything without spoiling it, though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to follow a challenge.
We had a nice little conversation about it. That's what I was asking. So, MC, CC, what'd you think? Like, what'd you get out of it?
Man, we talked about this a lot. The series, I'm going to try not to spoil anything for anybody. The series was like not what I expected at all, right? And I think we talk a lot about that at all. I'm still like waiting for Loki to be the villain.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that nemesis role to kind of to go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the way the show ended, I mean, if he were, I mean, he's kind of like the most powerful, entity, if you will, in the multiverse at this moment, right? Like, it's just, I guess, and we talk about this too. Like, Marvel has kind of crafted this in a way to where, like, the future of the MCU is just completely up in the air right now. They could go literally any direction they wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
They can, bring any character in. They can swap anybody out. Like, it's a wide open slate at this point. So I'd be interested to see what the next level looks like.
Yeah.
And it sounds like we're not going to get a whole lot of cinema for a while, right? And there's only one movie slated for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had Deadpool. Hey, Sawyer, how you doing, man?
Hi.
I think Deadpool was the only one that they had for like November or something like that.
Bye.
Something like that. But I think when we chatted about it, I think we all kind of came up with, or something that got floated around about. This seems like a reset button for them, for the whole thing, which is funny because I saw a story saying that they were trying to bring the like Downey and Evans, and they're trying to get all of them to come back because it's not really going well, I guess. So
they flashpointed us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we had that. We'll take this down really quick. We didn't really spoil it, so that's good, right?
That's right. It's still a mystery.
Exactly, because we can keep these kinds of things under wraps. So, and then we got the Madam Web trailer today. Thank you for sending this, MC. Got the link to this.
I'm gonna do a live react.
No, I'd rather not. I'd rather not.
My girlfriend.
You see how I put that one first for you.
Who's this again?
Sydney Sweeney.
The girl that eats ice cream and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. That's the stuff that he's
She's from what?
Euphoria. She was in a bunch of Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
Euphoria?
I guess. I don't know.
It's on HBO Max. That one is.
Oh, After Dark?
No, well, it should be. It has Zendaya in it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's PG then.
No, it's definitely not PG.
With Zendaya, really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's turned bad girl, huh?
She broke bad.
Interesting.
Yeah, this when I saw this, I go, man, they really took liberties with Miles, and then I figured out it's not him.
Did you read the storyline with Ezekiel back in the day?
Who's that? Spider Dad?
It's it's when they were doing like the spider totems, and then it led to Moreland, where they were trying to wipe out all the vampire family that was like wiping out all the spiders across the multiverse, absorbing their powers.
Yeah. And this is kind of the reason why I was asking this question, because we got some of this stuff. I thought they were going to kind of tone this down a little bit. Hey, it's what's his name? What's her name?
50 Shades of
50 Shades of
Madam Web.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a. Are they going to age her? I don't know.
I know, right?
Yeah, I just saw this, and then this came out, and then we had this. This I was actually really excited about, but through all this stuff that kept happening and some of the movies that they've had, and I never really paid attention to this. When like Scorsese was talking about, it's cheap theater and all that stuff, or not, to misquote him, but and then everybody's saying there's just too much Marvel. I saw this stuff today, and I go, oh wow, maybe it is catching up. This is the only thing I was really looking forward to, but I saw a lot of people in the comments who were like, oh God, this looks bad, and Marvel this, and like even Ian was saying like he'd like to see more street level stuff and the stakes were more personal, tired of giant gods in space where the whole universe is being threatened. So do you guys have burnout or no?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, MC.
DC burnout, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just because none of it matters now, basically. But there's good stuff coming from Marvel, especially.
Did you guys see the Marvels? I thought, didn't somebody say they were seeing the Marvels this weekend?
Sawyer did. He went with his grandma.
He
said it was fun. Oh, he spoiled it for me, so I'm not going to do that to you guys. But
Oh,
he enjoyed it.
yeah. Well, just like Ian said, I'm wondering when Disney starts taking those like series back again, like Echo, I heard is going to be R, right? And then Punisher,
yeah.
they
Looking
said if
forward to
they're
that
making Echo, yeah, if they're making Echo R, then John Bernthal's Punisher should be R, and then they're going to do Daredevil Born Again. So maybe that ties in with the street characters and with what Ian's talking about. Maybe that'll bring people back from this, cosmic stuff because they're leaning pretty hard into it.
The problem that I have right now is that there's I don't have burnout, but there's so many storylines kind of running alongside each other, and they still haven't tied it in yet. Like I keep watching one and I kind of wait for them to kind of bring it all back in. But you've got so many stories that are heading like in completely different directions. Shang-Chi, we saw him a year ago. We don't know where that guy's at. He hasn't been in anything. There's just so many storylines out there. The girl from Hawkeye, where is she?
Eternals, that one fizzled to nothing.
Eternals, right. It's like that kind of just never happened. I don't even know where, when you watch Loki, I don't even know where Eternals fits in that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I started thinking about it, and I'm wondering, the thing with Jonathan Majors?
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if certain things start happening, and like that was a big course correct for them. Mm-hmm. And now they may go back, or it's still kind of unsure, but they're leaning more to saying, yeah, we can still do this. But somebody even mentioned too.
An out.
Right. Somebody even
I feel like they kind of did the same thing with Spider-Man, right? Like the way they ended Spider-Man with everyone forgetting who he was, like they left themselves an out.
Yeah. I think, and that had to do with the deals and stuff like that too, and fighting over the rights. Yeah. But I'm wondering how much that plays into it, and that's why some of these storylines don't tie in. Yeah. And then we were talking about it too, like with Loki. Now you have an easy out card because now you can technically erase everything and make people forget, but you can't make the fans forget. I was like, oh shit! I was like, crap. But
did you guys see the casting rumor that now I guess is? I don't know. I've seen some states where it's official and some there's still a rumor, but Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards.
Yeah, I did. I saw that. Yeah, he does good.
I like Pedro, but I don't know how I feel about that casting. I don't know.
Yeah,
I like it better than Adam Driver when he was rumored.
I don't just, when I hear him talk or whatever, I just don't think smartest man alive. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. It's never has it ever crossed my mind when I listen to Pedro Pascal talk. That, yeah, he's kind of a badass, but I've never thought, hey, this is probably the smartest man on earth.
Yeah, you got to throw a kid in there somewhere. Maybe he'll have Franklin in there. Like
there you
work
go.
that in there somewhere. But
he does do well with the father role. They'll have Grogu in there, or the kid from what's the name of that show he was in?
Game of Thrones.
Last of Us.
Oh, Last of Us.
Oh yeah, the girl. Yeah.
Ellie, right?
Yeah. Well, when I saw this kind of intrigued me. It was interesting. It had some different stuff to it. They even kind of poke fun at themselves, kind of, with the narration of, and this is going to be season 2, and I think it's supposed to over, what is it? It's supposed to be over 9 days.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing so unwrap. Oh, that's a nice little tie-in. Unwrap one episode every day for 9 days consecutive as our gift to you. So, and that means more toys, right? What a way!
Yeah, they got those Marvel Legends lined up and ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get to hear about that too. So, looks like a lot of people, they're kind of on the fringe, or they are getting burnt out. Maybe, just like with anything, you got to streamline the content down a little bit.
I think COVID. I mean, I'm not probably the only person sure, but it killed the momentum that all this had, and then the writer's strike killed it again.
Yes.
Yeah. We won't see any of that until like later on when you're watching a show and going, what the hell's going on here? And then it comes back. LegionsCon.
Yes. We get the first Marvel AI script.
I bet you we've probably already seen one already. We just don't know. So, LegionsCon. I'm gonna let you guys take over this because don't want to cross any lines, and then also you guys probably know more about this than I do. I don't want to fake it. So run through the photos. You guys just tell me your thoughts. Did you guys follow this at all? Like online? Did you? Everybody seemed like they had a lot of fun.
Yeah, Boba the Legend was there. He took care of CC and I.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend that was there. He was a vendor. I follow the updates on like Instagram and Facebook, probably similar to what CC did. And then, of course, you know, we sent each other pictures all weekend.
Have you
Can
guys
we go back
gone
to that
there?
bear pic?
Yes, sir.
I'm really interested to see how the articulation in that thing works. Because for that bear to be able to go from a standing pose to that four-legged pose, kind of, that's going to be impressive.
Yeah.
Damn.
It looks like it's
Because a lot of the poses they showed him standing on, you know, his hind legs.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to have a great range in that head, or you're going to have an alternate head, one or the other.
This comes off, right? This get up
harness, yeah.
Okay, good.
I wonder if that neck, like, what figure does that? I'm trying to think.
I almost wonder if it's not going to be an alternate neck.
What figure that wolf that came out from Fury Toys? You know, the he had the neck that like kind of separated, so you can change like the angle that he was at. Like there was different parts to the neck, so standing, and so it wasn't so. Just to change.
There's a head change with this too, right? You take this head off, and there's another like a roaring head or something. This looks, man. I saw this, and I think we all kind of were like, "Wow, that's it looked really good." It's tall too. It's as big as a troll, right?
Yeah, just about. They had a picture of one with an ice troll there.
Yeah,
I heard Boba stole one.
Yeah, I was gonna put all that stuff in there, but I didn't want to beat it in the ground or anything. But you can get some other little characters, and then I'll get to it in a second. But this is you guys are probably better with the pricing on this. It's just an all-in, right?
Yeah, CC went all in.
I did not. I definitely did not. Hey, you know what? The first thing that jumped out at me in this set right here. You could probably guess which accessory intrigued me the most of that set right there.
Is it on this page?
Torch, yeah. I was like, look at that torch.
like an ice torch, yeah.
The torch is awesome.
How much is this little thing? How much is this?
I think it's only $20.
Yeah,
dude, it's cheaper to get this than it is to buy the torch for Solomon Kane that I've been looking for. But this is blue.
What's interesting is one of these other, I think the Dwarf 2-pack comes with a red one. What is it? The Exiles or whatever they call them?
Yeah. Let me get to some of the chats while you guys are chatting about it. Let's see here.
I'm going to their
really cool set.
website right now to see their price.
I probably need some of these accessories too. That's really nice.
Yeah, you can pick up some of the information part about it, like the price. And I know the other two I have are the exclusives. We'll talk about that in a second. But.
So that is $20, like CC said, that weapons pack.
Nice.
The bear is 85. The 2-pack of dwarves was 75.
Yeah, thank you. He has an alternate neck, piece, and paws.
Oh,
thank you, sir.
I thought he'd have to in order to be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's cool, man. That's hola, Plasty. How you doing, man?
Hey, Plasty.
And then Spiral Toys has a samurai line. Yeah, dude, there's just so much, man.
Too much.
I'll keep saying it. Yeah, they'll keep saying it. If you're not happy with your line, there's other lines that you can probably look. Boba just sent me some stuff too, so let me look at that. Nudes. Thanks, Boba.
Yeah. Boba said he's laying in bed. You might want to be careful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was sick. I didn't mean to send those. Yeah.
Clicked on the
These
wrong
are pictures he took. Yeah, I wish I could upload these. I don't know if I can because it'll lose the place, but maybe I can throw them at the end. But thank you, Boba. This is on the ground reporting, so he looked incredible in person at LegionsCon. Huge. So, what you guys got highlights? Yeah, Boba went.
Oh, I thought you were. When they said he looked incredible in person, he was huge. No, would you?
No.
It was the bear. Oh, it was the bear. It wasn't you.
No.
Thought that was one of those "that's what she said" moments. All right.
I would not be welcome there.
Yeah.
A bunch of guys going after me for that. There he is. So, really quick, was that the guy that they did the tribute figure? He was actually there, correct?
Walter?
I would believe so.
Yeah, Walter's. I don't think Walter misses an event.
Yeah, I heard that they did that tribute figure and they had him, and I don't know if it's in here. Let me look, but a bonus item. And then I guess this is the exclusive. And MC, thank you for sending that information too, because wow, look at all this. That's a lot of information.
Yes, it is.
Which I admire. Yeah. Because this gentleman obviously grasped the fact that if you try to explain everything,
it'll still ask a question.
Yeah, it'll but I guarantee if you probably went to this, there's probably 100 questions now.
Yeah.
But so Boba might be able to tell us too. So how they handled their exclusives this year, because I heard it was a lot better. It was faster line processing. They gave people a little bit more of a chance to be able to get the exclusive. I think they had homie hookups going on and stuff like that. So
I don't think they did the no limit thing till like the last day.
Okay.
I think it was like a limit of 2, and then after that, then they lifted limits. You can buy as many as you want.
That's cool. That way they don't have to carry that stuff. And then this is gonna go. What is this? I didn't get a chance to read it. So it goes up on November 17th at 11 a.m.
Okay. Will be sold out by 11:01.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, didn't they put a limit? Yeah. Look.
2 each per person. So that they probably have a good pile of them then.
If you said it, he said we have a very limited number, and anytime they say they have limited numbers, that means pick which one you want and check out. Don't be trying to get 2 of each and then complain when your cart is empty. You better grab the one you really want, and if you get a chance, go back. But anytime they say limited numbers, that means they have limited numbers.
So no reading the product description first.
No, you better know what you want. Grab it and go. Grab it.
And I know Boba has it, but does anybody else have hands-on experience with these figures on the panel?
Vorgus is one I got, thanks to Boba.
Oh, hey, what a silky segue by Paige.
Check that. Check that out.
Oh, well, I can't, but let's
give
you a little bit of
Venger.
Wow. Wait a minute. Isn't that the thing from the Dungeons and Dragons?
That's what it looks like, yeah. That's what it looks like to me. Like definitely a nod to that one.
Wow, that looks good though, man. How are you liking it?
Look at that cape. Is that thing not ridiculous?
Majestic.
CJ Jessup. I love it. Like we talked a lot about this before. You can see it up close. Like when it comes to the paint apps and the sculpting and detail on the Mythic Legions.
Wow.
Yeah, there's not too many out there that do it better.
Like
all the more reason. Like, how do you not look at this figure and get excited about Dr. Doom coming?
What a segue.
Mezco and Four Horsemen Studios. If Dr. Doom isn't a complete home run, I'll be so disappointed because you can't have that kind of hype and build up. But I appreciate you, Boba, for getting that. That thing's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Enough of the eye time. You can take me off the big screen.
I wish I would have a friend there who would have offered to get me one. Oh no!
Oh,
you're back.
Yeah, which head do you like the best, CC?
Oh,
yeah.
PG. I like the Gorgo head. It's probably my favorite one.
Okay.
I like that helmet style, even though they use this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a reason why they use it. It's just very classy. But I do like kind of the Venger head. It looks very vamp. When you put this one on me, you just almost kind of forget that he's supposed to be a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading some of the lore today, and I tell you what, they put a lot of time into the backstory and stuff, and these characters and how it fits in, and this is supposed to be wearing the blood armor that grants them powers, but also consumes their soul. Pretty interesting.
So not to dip into your pockets or anything like that. How much did that cost to buy?
$55.
$55. That's it.
That's it.
And you get 3 heads.
3 heads.
I'm not trying to sound like a commercial.
Yeah.
You get 3 heads. You get the cape, because the cape is wired too, right?
Fully wired cape. Yeah.
How's the
all 11
articulation?
inches of it.
Wow.
You got a spear. You got this pretty wicked axe.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's got his long sword. So he's loaded. He's loaded for $55.
And you say 7 inches, right, Tom? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the cape with the wire, does it go through all of it? Like the sides, bottom, or no?
It's so it goes all the way down the edges, and then they kind of did like kind of like Mezco, where it's like each pleat also has it. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, kind of like 7 fingers, if you will, where the wire runs through. So you kind of somebody compared it to like Spawn's cape, which I think is a real good comparison.
Oh yeah,
it's almost got kind of a very living cape kind of a feel to it.
Wow, that looks good, man.
I like it.
And it has the same articulation scheme as like some of the stuff that they had, like the Unknown. Is that kind of like
yeah,
that?
because I think somebody could probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is just a 1.0 body that they call it.
Yeah.
It's not the upgraded articulation, so it's the older style. It's just got an updated paint. What would you call it? Paint style, if you will. But,
MC, did you pick this up?
Talk about shelf presence.
No, I didn't get that one. I got the other 2-pack. The 2-pack, the one that came with it. Yeah, the one that came with
this. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. This one.
Yes. And then
pin set, 50 each. Okay. So this one.
Yes, it's got a Cosmic Legion and a Mythic Legion in it.
Okay.
And then
I wanted the T-shirt.
This little T-shirt, that one.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to put it on Vapor.
Yeah.
DM me for price, CC.
So cool. That'd probably be perfect on Vapor too.
Yeah.
Vapor's in the Cabal.
Wait until he sees the 2-pack exclusive. I sent him 2 figures loaded with accessories. Yeah, thank you, man, for reaching out and offering that, bro.
I had Boba do a little shopping for me, so I got Boba on my PayPal a couple times this weekend. But no, thank you, man. I really appreciate you doing that for me. You are awesome, dude. Greatly.
Did he hit you with the PM for price thing?
Yeah, he did. You know, a little bit. And there were some deals made. You know, I can't really go into details. It's kind of embarrassing, but you know, it was worth it in the end.
Yeah, you know, nobody's gonna know.
Yeah. Oh, they'll know. Yeah, it's gonna get out there.
Yeah. There's a tape. There was a tape made.
Yeah, there'll probably be some video showing up, and
for Friday CC, you can get the T-shirt. Yeah, that's cool.
But I'm gonna try to pick that one up at the sale on Friday. I'm gonna try.
This is tempting.
The one that CC got. And then I had Boba pick me up. They had that reinforcements wave that they did like a month ago, CC.
Yeah.
And so you could only do the all-in bundle, but I had Boba grab me a couple figures that I liked out of that wave. And then one of my friends sent me a message. He said, "Hey, I got an extra Valiant Knight for you if you want it." I'm like, wow. So yeah, some nice people out there that are taking care of everybody.
This seems like the thing to do, man. Like if other companies maybe try to follow suit, or maybe people in the community tried to like not hoard people, but kind of herd people into that kind of thing, where there's whatever your niche is specific, and say, hey, let's all get together and let's do this, and you know, bring community members together. Because I saw a lot of the highlight posts, and everybody seemed like they were just having a good time, man. You know, people out there drinking, and then you get to see all the customs, you get to see all the new stuff, and then all the new stuff you're experiencing with the people in your community. And it just seemed like it was a really good meetup. I know they always do it, but
yeah, it seems like it's very, I mean, I haven't been there yet, but like very vendor friendly. I mean, all the guys that do all the custom, you know, you guys are in the groups, and I'm sure a lot of people in here are, and those guys, you know, like my friend, he everything that he sold, he donated the money to veterans. Every custom piece that he made
Wow.
and sold, he donated it all to. So, and he did a lot of custom shield painting. You know, like you guys have seen his work. You know, he did some stuff for me before. He's a solid dude, and just to he drove all the way from. He loaded up his car, drove from Nebraska to go to LegionsCon, and then sold his stuff, and then had fun at the con.
Mikey, you I forget his name.
Eugene.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I'm sure anybody that's in Mythic Legions probably has seen his work. So solid.
You got to get Husky in on the Mythics.
Yeah, come on, Husky. Just try a little sample of this little crack.
Mm-hmm. Give me your address. I'll send you a little something to get you started.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I peeked a little bit, but I tried to. It wasn't anything against the product, but I mean, obviously, it looks really good. I was like, no, don't look. It's. I mean, dude, look at all that, like the detailing, everything.
Yeah,
it's very well done.
Too, that they have there. That.
Mm-hmm.
I like that little set right there.
I'm definitely gonna buy one of those.
For $20.
And the Cosmic Legions are really cool too. That they're coming out with. Like all their little accessories and stuff too. I mean, they're doing good work. She looks awesome.
Yeah, and then the one that I don't have a picture of that seems like it's catching a lot of fire is the Knight. I saw.
Oh, the Valiant Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a couple people putting that up, and it's a good line, man. Like I said, I did peeking. I didn't try to focus in on it too much because you fall down that rabbit hole. So
you have a couple though, right? Not a ton.
I do, and I've always had really good customer service, a good experience with them. I told you guys about that. Yeah, I got the we all trio bought it. The Headless Horseman. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't have a bad buying experience. Remember how I was saying, oh yeah, it was a bad reception. I missed it. And then I did the second wave and got right on and got it. Mm-hmm. And then when I got my figure, of course, I didn't open it up. And a year later, or months down the line, I looked and I was missing the shield and the cape, and I'm like, I'm screwed. I'm just gonna sell this. So I reached out to Jeremy, and I said, hey, I was pricing it. I said, hey, how much should I price this? Because I don't want to overprice it. And he's like, why? And I was like, because I want the horse, but the Headless Horseman doesn't have the sword or the cape. And he goes, really? I said, yeah. And he goes, what's your name? And I said, Emmanuel Paige. And he said, oh, yeah. He goes, well, email customer service and we'll send you out. And this is months later on.
Yeah, it was almost a year. Like it was this summer or something, wasn't it, that you did it?
Yeah.
It was.
And a day later, I got the cape and the sword, man. I was like, wow. So great customer service.
Yeah.
But you could see the rabbit hole. Like just looking at that wave, even though it's very well priced and stuff, I gotta have some self-control. It's like
you got some extra coin right now.
Yeah, a little. And thank you to everybody that has bought and is buying some of this stuff. It's nice. Like you guys talk about box purging and everything like that. It's nice to say, oh, okay, this is out of there, and now I got some room for the other stuff, and I can look at some other things.
Gotta make room for those 3 sets of turtles that are coming. Godzilla. There's 2 Godzillas.
Damn Godzilla's gonna take a lot of room up, bro. Oh, what a silky segue by you, MC, because we're about to talk about Mezco. And we are talking about treasuring and shipping. So yeah, this bad boy, holy crap. I know we chatted about it a little bit last time, but so they charged for this. I immediately saw the dent in my bank account. And this thing is huge, man. But charge for this, no shipping yet. So
what kind of batteries he runs off of?
You know what? I don't know. Even
he sells.
Yeah. A Tesla core battery you have to put in that thing. But the one that was there, that it was an older one, so it didn't have the feature, and then we didn't even do that. But this thing is huge, man. But the detailing, I can't wait to take detail shots of this. I showed you guys the dorsal fin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this thing is full of it, man, and so I can't wait to shoot this. I can't wait to take it out in the street and take pictures because you'll need that much room for it.
Is he gonna fight Ultraman? You can do a shot with that.
No, this thing is huge, man. I mean, it's like big, really big, man.
Tall, yeah. I guess he'd be quite tall with Ultraman.
Yeah, it's deceptively large. Like it's almost, I would say it's almost probably to your upper thigh or your hip. It's pretty big, man. I have the call.
If you don't recreate that Dave Chappelle skit, you failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a snake, honey.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what's funny? We talked about this last week.
You did.
And then,
you did.
poof, it happened. But yeah, I have Kong. I want to try to put them both together. I have Kong, and I want to try to put them both together. What is it? Most of the guys working on Horseman Warehouse are fans that they've hired. That's cool. So they know what it's like missing pieces. Yeah, I got that feeling, man. They did a very good job, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the guy that they go, oh yeah, he's trying to scam parts out of us. So I need Godzilla and Void Mech suit. But yeah, MC, your thing about the picture, probably with Kong. He's really big. Again, no shipping yet for this. I don't know if anybody else has gotten it, but so I did get some information that might be helpful. Let's watch and see if this gets out. So
you know what's funny? When you posted that this was charging, yeah, I ordered the other Godzilla, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, the smaller one. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, don't tell me that this thing. And then it was the old. I'm like, oh, whew. Boy, it's somebody else's problem, not mine. I'm like, oh man.
You got the seamless one, right, CC?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one, not the black and white one. That one.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Dom, Husky's Toys. He actually messaged me, and that date got pushed back. Kind of flew under the radar.
What date?
The date for that Godzilla. It got pushed back. Not this one. The other one.
I am waiting to see the size of the box on that. 33 inches from teeth to tail.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be like in a crate. It'll be like in the Ark. It'll be like something like that.
Fragile.
Yeah, that's
really
what. Yeah, like CC had today. Like fragile. Why isn't this looking it up? Hold on a second. So it was the. He'll probably piss on it before it happens. So, but it was the. It was the black and white edition, the Godzilla, the 1954 one. It got pushed back to September 2024. So. Dom, thank you very much for giving me the heads up on that. Husky's Toy. Credit to him. What else? Oh, so really quick. I think I can say this. So, everybody's freaking out about the Fantastic Four and the Doctor Doom thing, how they just said charging in the next few weeks, right? So I was talking to them about it, and I don't think people are going to get caught off guard. From my understanding, what's going to happen is they're aware of it, and so they don't want people to be caught off guard because that's bad for them too, right? We kind of went over that last time, but from my understanding, there is going to be notifications of when it's going to charge. They'll give you a heads up, so just so people are aware of that. So,
it's like a 2-day notice is what you're saying?
It's charging now.
Yeah, like Big Bad Toy Store. Hey, we got this in.
Yeah, charging soon means tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, those guys are bad for that, man. I was like, oh, they charge for Solomon Kane, and then they were like, we'll be charging within the next couple days, and all of a sudden, ding! I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, bastards. So yeah, so just so you're aware, if you have Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, they are aware that that the community is kind of like, and so they want to try to like ease that tension, and you'll probably get at least one notification. I was told multiple, but it just depends on when it comes, you know. So they're gonna try to give you warning.
My advice is when you go to mom's house for Thanksgiving dinner, take some plates so you got some food to go home with.
Now there's thinking. There's thinking.
Yeah, yeah, and also remember that other stuff is right behind it too. So even though you're in the safe zone with them sending notification, be
Another 4-pack?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's two of them, and then they got that, and then I thought that I saw somebody get it. I think it was the guy that somehow got it from the PX exclusive place, but side cutter the PX version should be going soon. I was told the end of November, so people should be starting to see that. I know we don't have shipping for, or at least I haven't had it. Gotham by Gaslight. So there's some stuff coming. And I haven't gotten shipping for this either, but I've seen this actually cause a lot of waves in the community. You guys want to talk about this?
We're ready.
Let me talk. All right, these are the pictures I took. I didn't want to take anybody's from the group, but it's to kind of show a little bit of a comparison. Because if you look close enough, there are some things that are different here. This was San Diego, and then some of the stuff that was shown in the groups. Have you guys noticed that like 3 different people took pictures and they all look different? Like, look, this is the one I did. They didn't editing or anything like that. All I did was like, did some like some white balancing on this because the yellow is bad. Like when you're taking a picture in the booth. But I didn't change anything else. I didn't darken this up or do anything. This is what I saw, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've seen 3 different people take pictures of this stuff and it looks different. And so this was the league, and that's a straight shot. Nothing except for temperature change. So that's what you got. And you can see how the lighting affects it. So I know you guys probably saw some of this stuff, and I was wondering what you guys thought about that. I think
Full disclosure, I'm not a big fan of the Flash design.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it looks more of like a Mayfix figure than it does, just because with the exposed joints and everything. So how they would have done that any other way with the way his costume is and everything, I don't really know. But I'm not a big fan. But I'm not a big fan of the DCU Flash anyway. I'm
Oh, Ezra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people, talk about the suit. Can't do this, can't do that. And as you gradually progress, people start pushing stuff, and you can actually see some of the stuff he's doing. Like, I think a lot of people talked about that this is all plastic, and then that right there is the only soft goods part. The underlining part, soft goods, and then the rest of it's all,
Yeah, I would imagine that, by them choosing to go that way, it probably allowed more flexibility as far as because if you'd have been in a very tight fitting suit, you would be able to get that kind of movement without stretch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that's what they were kind of forced with, is how do you get something form fitting plus squeezing the articulation. But
yeah.
We've kind of talked before about how it's difficult when you do these movie figures, because how old is this film at this point?
Oh my gosh.
5.
Yeah.
We got the Snyder cut during COVID. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're 2 years away from the Snyder cut. It's
2020.
It's been kind of a long time to make it, but
Yeah.
Mark's safe on this one for me. I didn't get this one.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? These figures really play off environmental lighting. Yes, the yellow soft light. That's why, and that's also why I put this photo in here too, so you could see. You know what I mean? I didn't want somebody to say, "Oh, he lightened up the suit and did this." this is straight down lighting. And, the light was right there. I moved it so you'd have a better idea of like all the way. But you can see it. I think it's like you said. I think a lot of people, have different biases about this because of the characters and then how long it took. So I do know one thing. I will say this. I think how we do like these do this resolution I had, last year.
Yeah.
Can we do an early one? I won't even say we. I'll say me because this is what I've been doing from now on. I had a couple of them, but this is one that I'm doing. Like if you don't have the figure in hand, no, I'll strike that. Rewind. If you don't have the figure in hand and you didn't buy it and you don't have any intention of buying it, I'm not reading what you wrote. Because the amount of like people that like just start going off on these figures, and honestly, man, dude, how many times have we done this cycle before? It's the same thing over and over again, and nobody seems to be learning from it. And that's just this year, bro. You take some.
I just like the people that come across with an expert opinion on a figure that don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, it doesn't move. Oh, how do you know? How do you know what it can and can't do? I don't know what the thing can or can't do.
I sat back and I only read a couple of it, but I'm just sitting there and I was thinking, I know that some of these were early prototypes, but I sat back and I just read it and I just shook my head. I was like, man, it's funny to be able to be part of that and then see some of that and you're just looking, it's just bad. And it's because it's the same cycle. Like the figure goes up for pre-order, everybody nitpicks it to death, even though that there's advertisement on it that says, yo, this is a prototype, it's subject to change. And people like come up with these concrete conclusions based on just a handful of images. And then it comes out and then people bash it. And then people start really diving deep into stuff. I saw a guy, he did a better running pose and he was kind of the standard for everything, right? And then now people are like, okay, I guess he can do it. Oh, I need one of these. And it's just a bad cycle, man. It's a really bad cycle. And people it just seems like the community, they just do it to themselves, man. And it's every year.
How do you
every
imitate
year.
that running move or running pose?
What do you mean? Like,
you ever watch the way
just
he runs in the movie? It's like
exaggerated. Like
for a guy so fast, it's not the most beautiful running form that you would see. He's not Usain Bolt out there. It's
yeah, it just I don't know, man. It just seems like the cycle keeps going and going, and you would think like maybe people would kind of learn from now because like we've had these things not even just in over the past couple of years, just within this year, dude. Like Turtles, Power Rangers, Solomon Kane, The Crow. What's some other ones? Like Conan, Morbius. Exactly. Death Dealer. Well, Death Dealer was Death Dealer.
Everybody talked shit, and then he had double jointed elbows, and everybody was.
Yeah. I didn't want to go back too far. I just meant like even within the year, Red Pyramid thing. You know what was a surprise one? Owlman. Everybody bashed the shit out of that figure, and now everybody wants it for customs. They say it's not that bad, but it's almost like, dude, not even going over a couple of years, just this past year. I don't know why it's not clicking with everybody. There's this kind of like hold off and wait a little bit because it has a bad after effect, and so. One of my things is like when I see that stuff, I'm not reading it because it does, man. It has a negative impact on a lot of people. Not me. I can take it because I see it every minute. But it's like I don't even want to be a part of it anymore. It's not even worth having the conversation, even if you show people. So it's like that's my resolution for sanity. But yeah, we can get off this one. Justice League. I got yours coming to UCC in the mail. So. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I slipped that in there. My bad. I'm sorry. Oh, look at that. I'm sorry. These were not ones I was supposed to put in there. But anyway. Look at that detail.
It's a
Future Macro Monday.
Oh,
oh boy.
What's that? What's that?
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. It's the love child of the two greatest toy makers ever.
Look at that. I touched it. That looks good, man. I'm going to be very interested in hearing what you think about this, man.
He's got to
be careful. Be careful with this. Be careful.
He's got to be good.
This material, be careful. It picks up some stuff. So be careful.
Some lint.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like that. I had it with a figure. Oh, the sod cutter. The latest one.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. I wanted to see this. Look at that. Look at him eyes. He's looking at you.
Dude, I'm telling you, I can't wait.
Dashboard battle. I can't wait till that.
Can't wait.
I can't wait till somebody says mine when you open that box.
Him and Galactus gonna have one hell of a fight in the car.
Yeah, I still gotta show this. Look at that detail, bro. Look at that. That's sick. That's insane. Anyway, yeah, nothing by Gaslight. Look at that. Hold on a second. Look at this. Look at that, bro. Oh man. I'm gonna debunk something. He's not short.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on.
Figure of the year, right there. You've seen it.
Treat.
Figure of the year.
Yeah. So we'll move on to our main discussion. Let's go through the chat really quick. Maybe I missed something important. Here's the type of comments. I thought it said the type of comments using the N-word. I watched that one kid, the comic. He's on what is it? He's on Facebook and all the reels, all the stuff. He's got a new Netflix special. I watched him, and he was going like, he was going hard on some black people, like some black people jokes. I was like, whoo, he's like Gary Owens, you know. He kind of like built up this reputation, but he's not scared about telling jokes. I was like, ooh, these are kind of edgy. I was like, careful.
Who's on Wild 'N Out?
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, so that was second mate. So sorry. Type of comments and words that can be used to found across the forms of entertainment. It's crazy how people want to hate and bring negativity in their life as well as others. Yeah, I think it's just because they're unhappy and they're like, yo, I want somebody to share this with. I can confirm that the figure is about as much as Ezra in the actual costume. Yeah, I saw Love of the Game. He was posing a run pic before we got on. You won't see him bend much in the torso in the movie, and that's just design. Yeah, have you ever noticed that? Like a lot of people, if there's a figure or something like that that has massive muscles and stuff like that, they go, "Oh, I don't understand why he's not double jointed."
Are you talking about like the armored figures with no ab crunch? Is that what you're referring to?
That too, or even just bigger figures, like ones that have like huge muscles.
The Keaton Batman that never did anything more than a brisk walk in the movie.
Yeah, but like almost like some people, I think they, because of pricing, they expect that articulation to be like Spider-Man, even though the character design doesn't even call for it. So,
how do you feel about articulation, Paige?
What about it? I think it should be character specific. I don't need Incredible Hulk to be doing Spider-Man poses, but I would like him. You know what I'd like? I'd like if a movie or a comic was a blueprint, I'd like it to have that kind of articulation. Wonder Woman, you remember when they had the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman? I think that she should be able to, she can, but not as much, but I think she should be able to do some of those iconic poses and stuff like that. But if you have some massive brute, I don't expect him to be doing, you know, superhero landing pose or Spider-Man poses. What do you think?
I'm about the same as you. Like it's very character specific for me. We were talking a little bit about the Mythic Legion stuff earlier, where it's like, you know, I don't need them to be super articulated, as long as it looks good and it makes sense.
Yeah, how much articulation can somebody wearing a suit of armor really have?
Yeah. So I wanted to do something at SDCC this past year, but I didn't want to push it. Plus, I didn't know a lot of people. But I had a skit because I had this whole thing that I was gonna do like a whole vlog for the whole, you know, for the whole show. So one of the skits I had was I was gonna call it. I had to probably change the name, but I was gonna call it articulated icons.
Okay.
And what I was gonna do was all the content creators or just well-known people in the groups. What I was gonna do is I was gonna say, "Hey, let's test your range of motion and see if some of them could be able to touch their shoulders." Dude, I'm you know I'm not super athletic or anything like that, but I can't even barely do that, right? Or have them like crouch to their knees or bend forward and touch their toes or see how far they could lean back. And I was gonna have a rating system for them. But the thing is, it's a trust thing. You got to say, okay, I'm not trying to make you look like an ass, but it's to prove a point that, hey, different body types have different ranges of motion.
Right.
And so you would see somebody maybe that was bigger going, oh, you can't do Spider-Man stuff. And then there would be also people that maybe they are athletic and they can't do those poses, So, but again, it goes to character. If you want your Spider-Man to do Spider-Man stuff, yeah, I get it. But it was just to kind of show, hey, it's not always like that. So I thought it'd been funny. Somebody would fall. You just catch on the camera. I would do it too. So what is this? Gotham by Gaslight is going to make an appearance on Macro Mondays for sure. Oh yeah, he will. He already has. I slipped that in. Nobody noticed. I think 2 people did anyway.
That's the picture that everybody thought was from the mech, right?
No, I think somebody thought it was Nemo. And so it kind of, and then somebody on the page said something about it. I was like, yeah, that's it. So, keep in mind, Cornboy is one of the 4-H, is one of the biggest Mezco fans and the biggest Fantastic Four fans. So he ran wild with that figure. Yeah, I know CC's looking forward to it. I am too.
I'm staking his reputation on it.
No shipping notifications yet. I don't see Darkseid be able to lick the back of his ankles. Yeah, that's I don't get. Like, some people want that stuff.
So in that skirt, it would be interesting to see.
Yeah. And to yeah, that too. And to also bring up the other point. I mean, yeah, if you have a Mezco Spider-Man figure and the expectations were for him to be able to do some of that stuff, I get it too. Even though he has soft goods and we know that you're not going to be able to do that, but if you had a figure and it was Spider-Man, yeah, I can see why people would be disappointed if he doesn't have that kind of range. I get it. I don't need much articulation as possible, as the figures hardly ever leave it. Yeah, well, my Frankenstein likes to boogie, so just kill John Wick's spot. That's a cool kid bash that she's done before. Ralph Barbosa looks like vapor. Ralph Barbosa. Am I missing? Who's wrong?
I'm not sure who that is.
I missed that. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. And please don't encourage your fellow collectors to cut the human butterfly joints. Yeah, I see some. Yeah. Let's see here. Thanks, music. Do some comedy, bro. That would be great. Yeah, I wanted to, but it's a lot of trust, man. To meet somebody for the first time and go, hey, I want to make this video. Here's the concept, and then they look at you, go, nah, man. There would be some people who would probably be cool with it, but
I won't do it. But that's a great idea, Paige.
That part. What's today's date? 11/15/2023. Let's sit on that and see what happens. Yeah. Let's see. I wish every figure would be able to sit correctly. Yeah, I know that's what I mean by arguing for. Like, Thanos. I think I haven't done it yet, but I think he had trouble sitting on a throne, and he's known for doing that. That's what I mean. I get that. So I understand both sides of it. So
those pants were very tight, weren't they? I bet Thanos would have a hard time sitting.
Yeah. Well, where do you go with that too? Like, I know that's the reason why they make some of that stuff a little bit baggy. It's because if you did maximize it out, you could rip the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they make some of that stuff loose. I don't want skin tight suits on my figures. That scares me.
Ghost
You know?
Rider.
Yes, and his were kind of loose.
Yeah. But you still feel like you're gonna bust a seam when you put him on that bike.
Or you're stretching out the material too, like the overlays and stuff like that. When you do that and you're keeping it out there for a little while, you stretch that material, and then you're putting it back. If there's no give, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's material not only on the seam lines, but it's also material on top, or say symbiote Spider-Man. You're stretching that stuff out, man. Anyway, move on. Let's make a deal. So I've been selling a lot of stuff. Selling a lot of stuff, and knock on wood, it's been going pretty well. But as I was going through this, I was thinking about some talking points. I was like, oh man. And really quick before we talk about this, you know how people complain about shipping? Dude, shipping prices have gone up. I've sent out, just in the last couple of days, I sent out some stuff. And I talked to the UPS guy. Remember, this is just USPS, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he told me the total, and I'm only shipping these Bandai things, right? He told me the total. I go, wow, really? And he said, yeah. And I said, hey man, just to ask you, what's the percentage of that has gone up? Like, what would you say? He goes, man, they raised shipping 4 times within the last year. And he said that they were also supposed to lower the shipping during the holiday season because they know it's a big part of it has a big, huge influx,
Mm-hmm.
People are shipping out, Amazon, all that stuff. He said, but they haven't done it. And he said, it's just going to get higher. And I was like, well, what would you say? He said, well, they did it 4 times last year. And I think the average, it's not a lot, but it's very noticeable when you start getting them weight. He said it's average between 5.5% to 7.8% for shipping. And he said, it's just going to get higher next year. So I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but I was kind of taken back by that shit.
Local meetup.
Yeah, that's what it's going to have to be. You have to meet a kid in the Target parking lot. But I was going through this process, right? And like I said, it's been going really well. Knock on wood. Hopefully nothing happens, right? But I was thinking, like, when you guys sell stuff and you're trying to sell stuff or you're trying to buy stuff, and I know there's 3 categories of this. There's strangers, complete people you don't know, right? There's people in the community that you probably see and you probably talk to them or engage with them every once in a while. And then there's friends. So keeping in mind with those 3 categories, as a seller or a buyer, how do you bargain with a stranger? We'll start with that first.
MC.
I usually
This is a bad one for me. Go ahead, MC.
Yeah. I usually don't try to haggle pricing. I don't want to insult anybody, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I knew
I'll
you would say that.
what's that? I obviously, I'm in a group enough where I know if somebody's, I don't want to use the S word, but I mean, if it's a fair price, it's a fair price. And for me, it's just like, sometimes I'd rather just go on eBay or pay second market instead of trying to go do a toy hunt or something like that. By the time you get in the car, go burn gas to go all over town, or, your time. I mean, time is a very expensive and irreplaceable thing to me. So I usually, if it's something I want, I'll be like, all right, let's do it. So that's just my approach.
And this is a stranger, like you've never met them and had any kind of interaction with them. And let's say, from a buyer or seller standpoint, let's say as a buyer, do you approach them and say, hey, I got this much money, I can do this? And then also as a seller, if they came up to you and said, I know this is $100, can you do 50? Well, I mean, that's what happens, man.
Oh yeah,
Seriously.
I'm sure you've probably had a little bit of that going on, but and same if I, like I don't really say sorry, I can't, like if I'm selling something, which is just like I don't want to. It's my price. Sorry, good luck. Sorry, if you find some more money, get back to me if it's still available. Or nope, I got 3 guys that are waiting already. I'll put you on the list if they back out.
What about you? What about you, CC?
Stranger. Well, I'm a lot like MC. That's why I knew his answer was going to be similar. I don't haggle. If somebody lists something that I want and it's a decent price, I'm not going to risk trying to haggle over it, because if somebody else comes in behind me and offers them what they're asking for, it's gone, right? So, never. Now, there's been times where there's something that I maybe didn't really have to have, and I've noticed that it's been up for sale for a while. And so I might just message that person and say, hey, I see you've got this. What would be the best price you would do on it? Just to see if at that point they're willing to come down. But it's about the only other time. Other than that, I'll almost always just do whatever their full asking price is if it's something that I want, unless it's just a ridiculous price. And if it is, I just keep looking. Like I don't try to talk anybody down.
Yeah. Like as I've had. I think it also, one of the factors that came into play with all of this and was maybe somebody knowing you and you don't know them, through whatever it is, like because I added in the group and I had 2 people message me say, oh yeah, dude, I know who you are. And I was like, oh, I don't know who this person is, but they were like, yeah, I know who you are. It's okay. I'm not, and we do whatever the deal was and stuff like that. And so I think that has like a big factor in it too. It's also, man, that's also like pressure too. I can imagine for other people, like let's say you were a content creator or influencer, and I could see people going, yo, he better treat me right, because if he doesn't, I'm gonna fuck him over or do something. There's that part of it too. And so strangers, I can kind of see where it would get hairy. I just wouldn't even argue. But so let's talk about like community members. When it's someone that you semi-know in the community. We're not talking about friends, but you semi-know this person in the community. There's that we're in the same kind of circles thing. Do you give a little bit more lenience, or do you get a little bit more understanding as a buyer or seller? You're up, CC. You go.
As far as when you say understanding, as far as price, or are you talking about like as far as completing the transaction?
Let's say you had a Popeye for sale, and you're selling the Popeye. We can do it for buying and selling, but say you're buying it and you're like, hey, I only have $90. Would you be open to have that discussion with them and talk to them about it because it is a community member, or do you reserve that for a friend? And then if you were selling it and a member in the community, I'm trying to gauge where like the leniency is with all of this. I found that my experience, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I found my experience because all 3 of these, I handled them differently for each one. And I just wonder if it was the same way for you. Like for community members, there were guys that I knew in the community, and as soon as I saw the name pop up, I was like, I don't want any trouble with that person. I'm not going to respond to that one right now. I'm going to field some of the other ones that I know. And I know people will play the number game and everything like that. Oh, yo, I was first. Well, I'm the seller, and I don't want to sell. I want to increase my chance of having whoever I'm selling to make it a good experience for me and for them. So I don't even want to deal with that, And that was some of the community members. Now, friends, that was different. I had 1 or 2 people that I was friends with, and I don't do holds. And the person said, hey, I got this friend, he wants that. Oh, he knows you? Okay, cool. Have him message me. And then I talk to him. We work out an arrangement. I was like, okay, I can hold this for you until Friday. Friday at 9 o'clock and 9 a.m. After that, I'm going to put it back up, because that'll give me time to be able to offer it to other people, and it gives you time to be able to square away what you got. So there was just different ways that I sold to each person, and I just wonder if you guys did, or if you guys just had the same standard thing for everybody. because you want to help people out in the community.
Yeah.
I think I was more focused on people in the community that I knew because it's reputation. And you want to hook people up.
Mhm.
And then also friends, because you're like, I don't sell a lot. So I do want to take care of the people I know that'll appreciate whatever I'm trying to sell, or they'll actually, I know that they're not going to take it and just sell it,
Mhm.
Oh, you gave me a good deal. This is going on eBay in a second. I know those guys won't do that. Hopefully. So
Yeah. I mean, I think if you were to ask most people that just about any transaction with me is almost magical. I don't think
it is. It is.
I don't think like I don't. You know what? I'm very guilty of like anytime I sell something, I'm almost always selling at a loss. Like I usually don't even break even. For instance, I just sold that Monkey King, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure he was $65 retail, not shipping not included.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. So I sold mine for 65 with goods and services included and shipping. I don't see how anybody can complain about that, right? Like I literally took a $20 hit on it almost, at the end of the day. So I'm not in that situation very often because I think my prices are usually pretty low. And like I said, I'm not one to approach somebody if I don't like the price. If I don't like the price, I just keep on scrolling. And that's kind of regardless of who it is. I don't try to I would never go to MC and be like, hey, I see you had this for 150, but since I'm me, would you give it to me for 75? I wouldn't do that to him.
Yeah.
Because this stuff ain't cheap, right?
It's not, and that's why I was trying to tie all this stuff into like community, because you are community building, but you got to be cautious. But friends too.
Yeah.
I know you guys. You guys have taken care of me, more than I can say. Like just with not just pricing, but just ease of getting something. Like Boba. Boba, he didn't have to do that. He was at the con. He was trying to enjoy the experience, but he thought about friends, and I think that helps. It helps the community. You're helping more of your friends, but it's cool because you're like, damn, I'm not gonna get reamed over on these exclusives. And it's just kind of tying that stuff in. What do you think, MC? Like,
As far as friends,
or any of it that you want to touch on. I mean, if you have anything.
I'd be the same with acquaintances in the community. I never insult them, of course. Like and friends, I definitely wouldn't. But like my friends, if I knew CC was looking for something and I had it, I'm in you, and or Boba, or my friends, you're gonna like what CC did. I'll give it to you what I pay. Like if I paid 150 for Lone Roach and CC really wanted it, like, here, CC, I got 2, you can have it for what I pay.
Yeah.
So, or work out, like trades or something. Like if somebody doesn't have money, or whatever, like, hey, I'll, what do you guys? I'm looking for this. You and I have, not that you didn't have, nobody had any. It wasn't a money issue between you and I. I was looking for something and I had something that you wanted, and we just kind of even Steven kind of thing. So,
I had one bad experience
with me.
It wasn't. But I had one bad experience where I was the seller, and I sold a couple figures like really, really dirt cheap. Okay, really dirt cheap, and I took pictures. Everything that was there. I said all that, right? I'm like, here, there's these figures. These are sold as is. They were Mythic Legions. So, I wasn't sure if all the accessories were there or not, but I took the pictures. I put it all there, everything, right? So this guy came in. He did. I think I came down like $10, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna haggle over it, right? So I came down to $10. Yeah. I sent him these things, right? I covered shipping and everything. Yeah. And then I get a message from him, and he's asking, well, these heads weren't there. And I'm like, well, those heads weren't in the picture.
Yeah.
Right. So I did some looking around. I did manage to find the heads. And so I sent them to him. Now, once again, I did this on my dime. I didn't ask him to pay me for shipping. So I sent him heads. They weren't included in the picture. Then he messages me about another accessory. Jesus. And I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm like, I was like, I will never sell to you again. And I told him that. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. I said, I took the pictures. I showed you what it was. I said, as is. I gave you a heck of a deal. I sent you heads on my dime. And now you're looking for, it was like a sword or something I was missing. Are you kidding me? Like, did you not look at these pictures before you bought them? I'm like, I'm not going to send you anything else or spend any more time looking through the thousands of accessories I've got to try to find this sword that you're looking for. And I think that's the last time I've ever dealt with anything like that. That burned me bad.
Yeah.
When you give somebody a deal like that and try to help somebody out, and then it turns into that type of a situation, I blocked him afterwards too. I'm like, dude, I'll never deal with you again. I blocked him and everything. I'm done.
There's a couple of really, really great comments that I wanted to just hit on really quick. One of these, I didn't want to like glaze over this. I thought about doing this because I heard that this is a great way of trying to get rid of some of your stuff. You just rent a table, you take it out there, you put your prices out there, everybody's dealing in cash. I mean, of course, you would report to the proper authorities what your income was. But you're getting all this stuff, and you don't have to go through like the hassle of some of the other things that you would probably deal with online, right? So I thought about that. I'm not too familiar with some of the toy shows that are around me, and again, I don't sell a lot of stuff, and so, but these are great suggestions because for someone who doesn't, and this is the one I resonated with the most. Like, I do have figures, and it's not the fact that it's a benefit that I'm selling them because you're getting the income to prepare, but I'm not doing it because of that. Part of it is space, but it does come to a certain point where you're like, dude, I'm not. That was the whole line that I said. I was like, I'm not playing with this stuff. Listening to you guys week after week, it's had a very good effect. And so it's like, why am I keeping this in here if I'm not going to use it and I don't have any plans to use it in the future for the foreseen future? So and there was one more. Hold on a second, really quick. There was one about laughing. And dude, when I see this, I know he's joking because I know.
Laugh emojis.
Yeah. When I see people do this, dude, it goes on my list. I don't even deal with those people.
Some way of bigger comments.
Yeah, I know
I saw
he's
that
kidding.
today.
Yeah.
You saw that today? That's funny.
I saw somebody do that to somebody today.
It's
hey,
like,
I have one. Like, that's so wrong.
DM me for price.
Hijack somebody's post.
Yeah.
You see it all the time, though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's nice. It's nice to cut the grass and see what's there. And don't believe me, I'll look at it because I don't want to deal with that later on. I've been really good this last year about looking and evaluating people in situations and going, you know what, I'm not going to deal with it. It makes things so much better. I can't block people, but at least I can look at it and say, you know what, I choose not to interact with this person because I know what the outcome's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in arguments with people, everything, especially when you're showing them, why is this like this? It's because of this. No, it's not. It's because of this. Okay, well, here's two. Don't just have one or two reasons. I like to hold stuff back and go, okay. So you'll say, no, it's not. And I'll give you two or three more reasons. And then it's just an argument. I'm like, dude, why am I doing this with this person? You don't want to have a discussion. You want to have an argument. I don't have time for that. If you want to know a process and the reason why something is, or maybe why I think it is, no problem explaining it to you. But if you're just here to say, yo, the sky is green. No, it's blue. No, it's blue.
Yeah.
No, it's green. All right, dude. Have a good day. It's not worth it, man. It's like, there was another one. Oh, this is a good one. Joey had a good one. Like, so people, I don't know the price. I'm asking. Group members get a small discount. Yeah, I do that. It depends on who it was. And then friends give the homie price. Yeah. And some of those turn into like, I was talking to this guy and it was a good conversation. And he said, hey, I'd really like to get this. And I said, I tell you what, you're buying a bundle. I was like, how about this? How about I throw that in and I'll take an extra $10 or $20 off because you've already bought a lot, you know? And he was like, oh yeah, cool. And it was just because it was a good experience. So yeah. I think it also builds good relationships with people in the community, you know? Do you guys use I make a joke about it, but I tell, I'll say it right now. I haven't gotten it yet, but because Joey reminded me just now with his name. So two people actually. Craig, I've been trying to do these NBA starting lineup figures.
Mm-hmm.
Craig hit me up, and I guess some of these are kind of region specific. So because he's in, PA, they had Embiid, and I can't find him anywhere. And he's like, "Hey, do you need this?" I was like, "Yeah, how much?" And he's like, "Man, just retail and shipping." I'm like, "Dude, thank you, man. Thank you so much."
That's nice.
And then it was, man. And so like but that's that community part. And then another guy, he hit me up. I can't find Tatum. He messaged me and he's like, "Yeah, I'm sending this to you." I was like, "Wow." And so that's where the wick marker comes in. I think I owe Joey probably two. But I told this other guy, I was like, "Hey man," I threw the wick marker at him. I was like, "Hey man, anytime you need anything, just let me know and I got you." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, you're hooking me up. I gotta hook you up." MC's done it for me numerous times. So
That's
I
how
know
you
I
got
owe
that
him.
mech suit.
Yeah. That's why he's always like, and I get this diorama and stuff like that. He's always like,
Yeah. He's calling in a marker.
Yeah. No, he never throws it down. I think he's very aware.
Saving it for when I'm in the vault.
Yeah. He's like, yeah.
He's like, oh shit.
And he just makes it rain. He's like, "Guess what?
How much are these worth? 5
Man, I
stable.
appreciate the good. Oh, thanks, man. I think a lot of people have been doing good, man, in the community, man. It's really gotten a lot better, and
Actually,
you could tell people.
Cece and I, like when we were becoming good friends, like a long time ago. This goes back to a while ago. He was looking for some X-Men figures, and Sawyer wanted you to have. He's like, just send them to him. So which Sawyer has no idea what money is anyway. But yeah, he didn't want them, and I sent you all those Marvel Legends X-Men figures, and then you sent Sawyer some Mythic Legions, and bastard, I lost on the deal in the long run.
Yeah. There's nothing like starting somebody down a road. Nothing like it.
Yeah.
That's why we gotta get Husky going.
Yeah.
Some of it's like really meaningful. I still have it's in the vault and it's under some stuff. So I don't really think, I forgot about it, but I still remember when Sawyer gave me like those plunderling.
Oh,
like he didn't have to do that, man. And it's cool because you're his father but he did that on his own. So it shows like you're teaching him, values and relationships and what they mean. But like, especially nowadays with kids, like when he came up to me, he said, "Hey, here you go." And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "No, please, I want you to have it." And I was like, "Wow, he really likes this line." And that's a lot to a kid. They don't understand the value of something. And if he gives that means, it's something. So
Thanks a lot of you, Mr. Paige.
Yeah. Both of
yeah,
you.
man, he's a good kid, man. He's a really good kid.
I don't know where he gets it from.
Yeah, I know.
They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but sometimes.
From a different
sometimes. Yeah.
Like your own little business at that point. It's crazy, man. So saying all that, we like to kind of bring everything together. What's some advice that you guys would give somebody about buying? Because I know there's a lot of stuff like what are some red flags, goods and services, friends and family. What's some advice that you would give somebody if they're starting to sell in the group?
If it's a girl with a Sydney Sweeney profile pic, I'm not buying from them. There's no That's a red flag.
Got it. Even if she's check certified, no?
Yeah. Friends and family. No, I mean, obvious, but check their references. I think and that's the biggest thing. If it's a stranger, like definitely get that reference check done, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, I try not to buy from strangers really because I got burned once before pretty bad, and shame on me, whatever. But lesson learned. But I mean, there's other ways. I just think Don't insult anybody by trying to lowball the shit out of them, I think. Because that goes. Yeah. Everybody sees your comments, you know.
Yeah, there's some people that are really slick and they'll really, you know, because you see things as admins and stuff like that I've seen where maybe somebody just doesn't want people to know their personal business. You know, like I sold this, and you know, people count people's pockets and stuff like that. So I've seen posts disappear too. You know, so it's like, geez, Louise had a good one. It was look at the picture to see exactly what you're getting. There's been many times because you look at so many posts, and there's times when I've seen it, and I'll go, I've seen this picture before. And you'll scroll back and you'll see somebody just jacked a picture and stuff like that. You know what I did? Because you know I'm anal. So everybody that messaged me, oh, to really quick answer the question. Yeah, that was all my Star Wars stuff. Yeah. I'm going to put some Marvel stuff up. And there's still more Star Wars stuff I got to put up. I got to put up with those troopers, everything. But yeah, that was my stuff. I just don't use it, man. And I'd rather go to somebody who does want it. You know, because for me, it'll probably sit in there for another half a year, and it's not worth it. But anyway, but so one of the things I did when somebody bought from me, and they're trusting me with like the sale and everything. One of the things I did was, you know, you take a picture. I would take like a short video, and I would say, "Hey, Cece, here's Heavy Mando. I got this, and I'll wrap it up, and I'll put it in there tonight." So they knew that it was personalized. I was saying their name. It wasn't like some kind of like bogus thing. And they also knew that, you know, I put their name and their address on a piece of paper and stick it right next to it. It was just to kind of cover myself too, because you don't want to get burned either. But it was just trying to make the whole transaction feel more personal, and then also so they'd have more trust in me with it. Because that sucks, man. Just giving somebody money and go, all right, it's gonna come. It's gonna come.
No, yeah.
Where's it at? I don't want that. I'd rather somebody just, you know, I'd rather have more information than less, you know. So, I don't know.
I think with shipping too, like if you are selling, like ship the product when you say you're going to. Don't dangle people around. You know, you want your money up front. Be courteous.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say communication. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Because if somebody didn't sell, I told this guy today, I said, I got to find a box because I'm mailing something out for him. I just couldn't find a box. And I said, I tell you what, if I can find a box today, I'll ship it out today and I'll give you tracking. I said, if I can't, I got to find a box. But I said, I promise you it'll be going out tomorrow. And if something happens, you know, I don't know, Oscar eats the tire on the car, then I'll tell you that it's going to happen. But as long as you're keeping somebody in the loop, I think that, you know, you're good. Hey, man, baby threw up all over my suit. I couldn't make it to the post office. I'll have it out tomorrow. That's better than just going, dude, where's my shit? You know? It's done. We beat it to the ground. It's over, CC. Don't worry.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. You were done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. There's more. There's more. I was going to add.
What's your advice?
Oh, go. Yeah, please do.
You know, I think one of the misconceptions that a lot of people have is that you never think about protecting yourself as a seller. So whether you're a buyer or a seller, one of the things I would highly recommend is that you don't cut corners. And what I say about that is sometimes you could be penny smart and pound foolish. You can insure a package for a reason. Right? So the last thing you want to do is take somebody's money and then trust that the UPS or whoever you're using is going to deliver, and then they fail. Because then now you got to provide this refund out of your own pocket, you know, and you're out of, you know, the product and your cash. So always insure something, even because, you know, there are just as many scammer buyers out there as there are scammer sellers. So you really got to make sure you do your due diligence on either one and protect yourself at all times on either side of it. I had a deal a few years ago where I was selling a pretty expensive Mezco figure overseas.
Oh yeah.
Right. And overseas shipping is not the most reliable thing in the world. And I told myself after going through this, I would never do it again because it took almost 4 weeks for that package to get there, and this guy starts messaging me talking about, well, do you have a plan if this doesn't arrive? And I'm like, well, what do you mean a plan? Like, I only had one, I don't have an extra one. I shipped it. It's in a box. It says it's en route somewhere. And I think it was going to China or somewhere. But, the tracking on those things aren't that great. Now, luckily it showed up a few days later. But, I told myself I would never sell something that expensive again and ship it overseas. Never. Won't do it. And that's why a lot of people do say, Con US when they're selling stuff. Because when you start dealing with overseas shipping, there's a lot of intangibles there. And you got to be able to protect yourself at all times.
Yeah, totally agree. Same. What is it? It's the same. It took a month and I was sweating. Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like, it's not even the seller's fault sometimes. Sometimes it goes through customs and they rip through that shit. And it's like, because they got to check. So it's like,
and that guy said, he messaged me talking about, hey, well, what are you going to do? What can I do? I put it in a box, right? That's all I can do. I put it in a box. All we can do is watch this tracking, together. That's all we can do. So he said, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hey, bro, there's nothing I can do. I don't have another one. I'm not going to ship another one out.
I'm going to drive over there and see. I'm going to follow the route and see if I can find it laying on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem too, because unless you're using like DHL, once it leaves whatever it is, whatever carrier, and if they don't have a connecting system, it goes to whatever that host country's postal system is, and it's gone. They don't have tracking unless you're using like FedEx, and I've heard bad stories about FedEx too, and it sucks because your reputation is on the line with some of that stuff too. Because as soon as something goes awry, I'll take some time to talk about this too. Like, I've had people where they'll say, "Hey, man," and it's always the same thing, and I get it because you're freaking out. You spend a lot of money, you want this thing. I've had it where somebody says, "Yo, man, this guy's scamming me in the group." Okay, what happened? He said he sent it this day. Where is it at in the tracking? Well, it's here, but it's been stuck. Okay, do me a favor. Let's give it a couple of days. I'll get with him and talk to him, find out what his story is, and then we'll see what happens in a couple of days. If it doesn't get there in 2 or 3 days, we'll figure it out then. And I'm telling you, 95% of the time, it's moved. And I'm like, there you guys go. Well, I want to make a post and call him out and say he's a scammer. Well, let's wait until we get to that point. Your reputation is on the line, so it's like, and it sucks even if a deal goes bad.
I had a crazy situation, right? Where the odds are small, but so I don't remember what it was. I bought something from somebody. Once again, I think this was a fairly expensive figure, right? Yeah. And I'm watching the tracking. It's supposed to get delivered. So my mail person delivers this box. And I'm like, God, this doesn't look anywhere near what I'm expecting. I wish I remember what it was, but I don't. So I opened this box up, right? And it was a car catalog and like a poster. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, this is nowhere near what I ordered. So I'm freaking out, right? So I finally look at the box. My mail person brought me somebody else's box. So my box went to somebody else's house, and I had this other box. So luckily I was able to just track my mail carrier down. She was further down the road, and she was actually on her way back to me because she realized what she had done. But I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I got scammed. This guy sent me a book and a poster. This is not what it's supposed to be. And I was livid. But I didn't take the time to read the outside of the package. It didn't even have my name on it. It just happened to get delivered the same day I was supposed to get another box.
Wow. Yeah. And that stuff, and it's going to ramp up more now. Like I made a little rule for myself. I'm trying to do this now. I do not like, Oh, did you get it? Yeah, I've been on it. Yeah.
As a Mythic Legion.
Yeah, I try to avoid shipping during the holidays. If I sell something, because it's just a madhouse. And I don't even try buying from somebody. Like Jim and I were working out a deal on something. It was like a big Mezco kind of thing. And he was like, "Do you want me to ship it now?" I was like, "No, dude, just wait until January 15th until everything slows down."
The
Porch
Porsche
Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jinx, you owe me Mezco. So
Take it out on CC.
yeah, but you got that Porsche Pirates lost stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you just want to kind of so just kind of protect yourself, like CC said, financially, communication. Just protect yourself as much as you can.
Communication's huge.
Yeah, huge.
Huge. And like you were saying, if you say you're going to do something, do it. And if for any reason you can't, don't just not say anything, right? Make sure you communicate and let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And most of the time people understand like that diorama. I know I said I was going to do it as is. I'm not trying to throw business out. It's just to use it as an example. But I messaged Vidu and I said, "Hey, man, do you want the back of this stuff painted?" And he goes, "Yeah, it'd be cool if you could do it." I said, "Cool. I'll work on it tomorrow morning." Some stuff happened. And you know the knockers on there? The knockers on the wall, they broke.
Nice pair of knockers, yeah.
Yeah, you guys like those knockers. I hooked them up and I made the knockers bigger for them. So, but the knockers broke, right? So I'm like, crap. I just totally missed my deadline with this guy. I told him I'd have it out. And then I said, okay, I was like, here's the thing, man. I painted this, but the knockers fell off. I sent him a picture. I said, I just need a day to kind of do this and paint it. So he goes, yeah, no worries. Take your time. He's totally cool with it. I finished the project, told him, and then we worked out whatever it was, and then that was it. But I kept in communication with him, and it was fine. You know, he knew what was going on. So,
Yeah.
what is it? Google photo. Recognition is everyone's friend with profile pics. Easy way to see if really, really. I have a little secret. You want to know something? This is cool. He said this. I used to use this. The good thing about being in the military is you have friends in places, right? And I have a friend. He used to work at Langley. MC, you'll know what I'm talking about. I was telling him about some of the stories, that we talk about in the room. And so he said, "Hey, man." He's like, "Hey, man, you want me to help you with that?" I go, "Yeah, sure." And so he runs like cybersecurity and he does all this hacking shit and everything like that. And so he said like on a couple of things like posts and stuff like that, he'll put coding and shit in and all that stuff. So he says, "Hey, man, you want to know where your photo went or where this went?" I go, "Yeah, sure." And he sends me this report. And I go, "This is just a bunch of IP addresses. I don't know this shit." And he goes, "Hold on a second." And then he sends me the IP stuff. So yeah, be careful with that shit. Google Photos not the only thing. You can have guys like embedding shit into these photos and these posts and shit like that, and you can see where all that stuff goes, where it gets shared and everything, man. Technologies is beautiful. It's beautiful. Knockers.
Aftermarket knockers.
Yeah. Isn't a background check, Bob? This is a good one. I keep doing this. I thought that, it's because the text is so big. Sorry. I have to switch who's on bottom all the time. I always film myself opening packages. I can prove the condition. There's a box I sold stuff. I would film myself. Yeah, doing that.
Smart.
Yeah.
Mini deals with a lot of high-end stuff with those customs that she deals with. I can only imagine the nightmare she could be wrapped up in.
Yeah, and some of the stuff's really rare too, right? Like it's not like
super limited releases, she was saying, and rare variants and things like that. And I'm sure she's paranoid anytime she gets something in the mail.
Yeah. No, that's just watching the boards and stuff like that. No hacks or anything like that. I try to use those powers for good. I got to show you guys that stuff one day. I don't think I've told you guys that. That's fine. Skipping forward, we did the best advice, so I don't think we'll talk about backtracking because we're kind of close to the two. But this is the one I really wanted to talk about.
Oh boy, just when you're alone.
Mm-hmm.
No. This one's short, but it's a perspective thing. No, I know you're joking, Steve. I know. We know you joke. I love your jokes, Steve. I love them. Seriously. What does it say? I was pulled into the back room at the post office for mail fraud using an alias. Oh, wow. Yeah, you'll have to tell us about that.
Oh boy.
Offline if you want to, because wow, mail fraud. That's like federal shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've all been talking about the amount of offerings that we're getting, like with Q4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so split now with everybody. Everybody wants more. Some people want to push back and everything else like that. But are you really getting to enjoy the releases before the next one comes out? Let that soak in for a little bit.
Say it one more time for the people in back.
Yeah. With all the releases that are coming out, that people either want more or less for different reasons, right? Mm-hmm. Are you really getting a chance to enjoy the stuff that has come out before the next ones come out? Like, do you feel that with your personal lives, your career, and all the extracurricular activities and stuff that you guys got going on, because we all do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really get a chance? Do you really feel like you get a chance to enjoy a figure that you've gotten?
I'm gonna say very easily no, because there's quite a few times that I'll have something. I'll tell you what, this is the fastest today that I've opened a figure and actually put hands on in a long time. Usually it takes me weeks before I finally get to something and be able to put hands on it. I tell you guys all the time that Golden Age Batman, that thing sat downstairs for 9 months before I opened it, and then I fell in love with it. So there, I couldn't name how many. I'm sure people have a lot more than what I got, but I have too many for myself of stuff that's just sitting in boxes that I haven't had a chance to put hands on with. So
shot cutter.
I'm willing to bet you that if I stopped buying now and I just opened a figure a week, it'd still take me a year to catch up.
What about you, MC?
No.
You're very busy. I'm not saying that CC's not, but I mean,
we're all
what I mean?
busy. Yeah.
Everybody's busy, yeah.
Yeah. No, and I definitely realized that when I got Slugfest and Solomon Kane this within a day of each other, and I still haven't even really played with Slugfest. Solomon Kane, I had him for a minute, and then something else came. It was just like, I don't. I mean, there's so many figures I haven't even really touched. Morbius, I can't put down. That figure's amazing. But no, there's a lot of figures that I haven't touched really. Mr. Freeze, I haven't even opened that yet. I opened that box and that was it. Make sure everything, there was no issues when I ordered it, but
yeah,
I haven't even touched that one. So there's definitely, I'm not complaining at all that, we're getting too much by no means, or not. I'll never complain that we don't have enough.
More.
Yeah.
No, I just say it because I see a lot of people, and like I said, I know a lot of people, they didn't order something, like some people were waiting for the turtle, some people didn't have a chance to, or somebody didn't order it. I get it. And so maybe that's being replaced with another offering. And then you compile that, or you compound that with other companies that are just throwing shit at you, right? And so there's got to be a point where you're just like, I know people keep saying more, but it's like, are you enjoying what you have? So here's another question. The last figure that you opened, what would you say was the amount of time that you actually spent with it from the time you opened it until now, present day? Like you just said, I know you were really big with Golden Age Batman, CC. But in that amount of time, how much time would you say you put hands on that figure? Because that's probably the one that you like the most right now, right? Or no?
Yeah. It'd be hard to put a number on Golden Age because, like, I usually just keep him around my desk, so I'm kind of fidgeting with it all the time.
Right.
But I was real big on Bishop. I really liked the Bishop figure a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet you I only spent 30 minutes with him total, maybe. And I really like that figure. Kind of the same thing with Vaporoni. Vaporoni be probably the same thing. Maybe 30 minutes with Vaporoni. Great figure. But I just haven't found time for him. I got those original pink skulls. I still haven't taken them out of the plastic.
Yeah. Can you hear Ann snoring? I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you hear that? Can you hear it?
I can't, yeah.
She's sleepy.
Every night.
Wow.
Babe. I'm going to chop this clip.
Did you give her a cosmic in there?
And I'm over here.
That's funny. That's funny.
So, yeah, but okay, MC, like, what about you? Favorite figure? Like,
I mean, mine is Morbius right now because I literally mess around with him every day. Like, I come into my little area and I mess around with him, pose him around, look at, he's just, I don't know why I'm obsessed with this figure right now. It's so good. And I'm not a huge, like, Morbius fan by no means. Like, I mean, I read the comics and, like when he was a Spider-Man in the Spider-Man comics, but but before that, still on my desk is a Mythic Legion, the ogre guy that I mess around because he has so many accessories and so many different things that you can do with him. Those are like my two that I'm always fidgeting around with when I'm working or talking to you guys. Like here, I'm constantly swapping on that guy. But those two, they're just always out right now. But before that, like before the Mythic Legion, I maybe Sod Cutter I had out a lot. I was fooling around with him a lot. So when he was first released, so that was like almost a year ago. So all the stuff in between, I have no idea.
Yeah, Mario makes a great point. I love all the drops too. I just wonder how much people are actually enjoying the stuff. And like I said, I think it just correlates with how many people are like more. And it's like, it's almost like you can see sometimes in the post, it's Justice League is a great one to tie this all in. There was somebody who would say, oh, this figure can't do this or this figure can't do that. And it's like, you just got the figure. You haven't even put hands on it enough to really explore what it can do. How do you know it can't do it? And then, of course, people piling on it that don't have it. Yeah, he can't do that. It's like, you don't even have it. That's not even part of the conversation. Let's talk to the people who have it in hand. How much time have you spent to try to like break it in or even explore the articulation, the limits? And so, and it's almost it's almost like this. It's like, okay, all right. and that's the way it seems. It's like you don't have a chance to enjoy it and learn it. So it's I had another question. I'm trying to make it when I open up a figure, I put away the accessories. That's the whole reason why I was doing the will it fit stuff or play parties. So it's almost like, yo, I need to get this stuff out and mess with it at least a little bit. Come back and photograph. Sorry, no, the mindset is FOMO when it keeps coming out. Morbius for 2 hours. Then I put Boba stage. Yeah, that stage is cool. The one that you got from Boba. I have.
And he's got a stage from Boba.
Yeah, Boba. I had 8 FOMO tabs open in my personality. Yeah, it is, dude. It's like you're looking and. I'm really glad we've been having these conversations because it's really put things in perspective for me. And I don't jump into my Amazon cart and look at that stuff as much anymore, or the Legions, even though all that stuff looks cool. It looks really good. But I was like, no, don't do it. Don't look. It's trying to have some self-control. Yeah, I love those pictures you've been taking of these. So, what was the other question I had? Bless you. So, do you think at the rate the companies are putting out figures, does it allow you to have or build an appreciation for whatever the offering is? No.
In my opinion, it's getting to a point where I think it's overwhelming. There's so much stuff coming. I kind of got a little bit of a head start with the picking and choosing, but now it's even to the point now where like I'm kind of going a step beyond, like that Vamp release. As much as I would like one, I passed on it. I didn't pre-order that. I don't know if it's still pre-ordered up or not, but there's just so many things coming down the line. I used to space, no matter what, is finite. I don't care what anybody says. So you really got to pick and choose. I don't know. Like it's coming so fast that it's a little overwhelming to me. Just from an enjoyment value, it's overwhelming. I'm not even talking about the expense. I'm just talking about finding the time to be able to adult and do that other stuff too.
No, yeah, that totally makes sense.
I want to ask you guys this. I mean, G.I. Joe Classifieds. Paige, I know what your favorite figure is. You got it recently. And CC, we all know what your favorite guy is. How much time have you got since you've had it?
Zero,
Since
man.
zero. Yeah.
The time that I spent when I showed you guys, that's it.
How do you feel about that? How does that? Because that's like part of your youth, like that. CC, that was your favorite G.I. Joe. You got what, 3 or 4 still in the package, like the original. And Paige, I know, Low Light was your favorite when you were a kid. How do you feel that you haven't? Like, does it bother you that you're not spending enough time? I know it's only like a $25 classified figure. It's not like a $125 Mezco, but do you feel like you're being robbed of it, or do you wish you made more time for it? Getting deep.
No, this is good. CC, you want to go?
Oh, I always wish I had more time for that kind of stuff. I don't get enough time to spend with the figures. Me and you guys have talked about this before. It's like the 3D printing I used to do a lot of time. I don't have as much time for that anymore. I used to draw a lot. I don't find the time for that anymore. It's just as you get older and things kind of come along, you just seems like free time. I know the day is still 24 hours, but God, it seems like the older you get, the faster that 24 hours just goes. Like it just seems like there's just not enough time in the day for me to accomplish all the things that I would like to accomplish. So sometimes the fun things seem to be what gets sacrificed, but there's so many things I'd love to be able to do, and it seems like I just can't get to it. I really miss the drawing, the artwork. I was looking at a set of pens and stuff the other day, and I almost bought them. And I'm like, Corey, what are you doing this for? You're never going to touch them. It's going to be a waste of time. What are you doing this for? So I put them back, but I wish I had more time.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I've been trying to do these little things to be able to spend time with it. You know what I mean? Like these little activities, the Macro Monday stuff, the stuff that I still can't do, like the Friday Night Fight stuff, or just posting pictures. I'm trying to do that, or the unboxing stuff. It's to be able to have some time. But I still don't feel like there's just so much stuff. And I really wish I had more time to do it. And I feel like I have more time. But when we talk, you guys have your personal lives, your kids, job, different things that are pulling more and more time out. And there's times I'm like, man, I do have a benefit of having a little bit more time than they do. And
I wouldn't say that.
Well, you know what I mean? Like I can be up watching TV or doing something, and then you might have a hockey game or something like that. And so I'm like, there's little cuts in part of time when I probably have a little bit more, and I'm like, wow, I need to put more into it, because if I'm investing this money into it just to sit in a plastic case, I should at least enjoy it a little bit more. I don't want to get rid of that stuff. I don't want to get rid of my Joes. I don't want to get rid of the Mezco stuff. I want to enjoy it. But I think I need to push myself a little bit more to set some time, like an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe when everybody goes to bed, and sit there and mess with it and do stuff and take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a goofy picture, just to put it up, just so I know that I'm enjoying it a little bit more. Because like you guys have alluded to, and Cece said, like, then what's it really all for?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I want to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not too deep. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. It's a good conversation. It's good. See, like people are like
the Joes kind of, we've talked about it multiple times. Just get us in the, get us in the feels, like where, CC and I, we scaled back just to figures that we had when we were kids or identify more with, like I don't know what a helix is, and I don't know what a sharpshooter or a mole rat is, but I damn sure love Shipwreck. And I haven't touched, Shipwreck and Dusty were my favorite Joes when I was a kid. And I mean, I'll be honest, I was disappointed with Dusty that we got, but Shipwreck was cool, and I haven't done anything with it. I don't even know. I think I already put him in a, the will it fit box, so to speak. It kind of bothers me, like, because Sawyer doesn't like G.I. Joes really. So,
yeah.
I mean, at least I have that outlet where I can like go in his room and play around figures with him and pose and stuff like that. I'm fortunate that I have it because, I want to say it like kills two birds with one stone, so to speak. But
yeah,
I'm able to enjoy it while enjoying time with him, I guess. So I have.
Hi, Oscar.
And do you do that now, CC too? Like, well, I mean, you probably, when you hand over a toy, you're kind of forget about it. Maybe if she falls asleep, I can get it back. But you can play with her like I can with Sawyer. So.
Yeah, man.
He's just sitting there like, yeah, that looks like fun.
Yeah, damn. And there goes that joint. Crank past the 90.
She says she's just putting it through the QC paces for her. That's all.
I tell you,
real Mezco flash. We'll see what she can pose her in.
She'll test it.
Yeah, that is. I think that's the good part about it. Just trying to find time, like I mean, maybe even the show would be something good too. I don't want to be where it's distracted, where we're just like yeah, blah 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 blah. That's why I try to do play parties too. Mm-hmm. And today I even did that too. Like I would unbox while I'm watching something, like if I had a little time, I'm like, okay, I'll unbox this. But I've gotten to a point too now. If I'm like, if I'm on the computer doing something with the group or on the phone or something like that, I'll put a figure in front of me and just mess around with it. Because I enjoy it. I just don't. I don't want it to come to a point where it's where you look at all that and you go, what the fuck am I doing? Because I enjoy it. I love it. I do. I want to enjoy it. It just, we all just don't have time. And I guess you got to make maybe the most of the time that you have with it.
Mm-hmm.
So. You see, this is a silence when everything soaks in. This is the thought process. I guarantee you somebody's going to message and go, yo, I didn't think about that. That's what's so cool about all this. People will message and they'll say, yo, dude, I didn't think about this. Or, yeah, So it's good conversation. It's not heavy. It's just to get you thinking. I mean, I can sit here and shit on figures for 2 hours if you want, but I don't think it gets you anywhere. It doesn't resolve anything. So
yeah.
But that's all I had. What you guys got? Anything to lighten it up, to fluff it up? Oscar, I see you.
He's hungry. Give him Mezco.
Yeah, he's looking for stuff right now. He's over by the sales boxes. You need to get rid of that. Watch out, buddy.
See if Husky's paying attention. I just answered one of his questions.
Oh, we did. Husky's give you a little sample.
Here's Santa up real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if I still have that figure or not.
The Santa?
I had one. I don't know if I kept it, if I got rid of it. I know I never opened it. I think it's sitting down. Him and Headless Horseman, I think, are sitting downstairs still in a box sealed.
Better get out for the Christmas shots.
Headless Horseman.
Better get out for the Christmas shots.
The Headless Horseman?
She'd love
to
play with the soft goods Santa.
Oh, she'd love it.
She'd love it. Extra soft. He's got that nice soft jacket.
You know what's funny, Mary? You know the figure that she carries around all the time, though, and I don't really know why? Is that Professor Jones.
Really? She likes a dapper man.
I don't know what it is, but she carries that figure everywhere. Everywhere. She likes that Professor Jones. Really weird.
I'm gonna go
I was cool with it because it was inexpensive. I have to hide the expensive stuff. That's downstairs now.
I'll go through Sawyer's
I
Legends.
lost my desk figures. My desk figures had to be relocated.
CC, I'll go through Sawyer's Legends again, and I'll send you some for her. She'll like those.
She loves the Legends. She's got a Shocker figure that she carries around and plays with all the time, but that Professor Jones, she likes that one. She will not mess with electronic devices. I'm kind of proud of her for that. She'd rather play with a toy. Rather play with a toy than a phone.
That saves you. That saves you as well, right? You don't have to worry about the. Jeez.
I'd much rather play with a toy.
Yeah. Yeah, I grabbed my Santa type figure. Yeah, man, it would be cool, man. I'm wondering if, I mean, besides Black Series, if we're gonna get any kind of like holiday themed figures, maybe
Mezco?
from Mezco. I mean, it would be cool. I don't know, man. I'm wondering if that would even be a possibility just because of everything that's coming out.
Yeah. Could you imagine if they dropped a Advent calendar #2 on us? Or, I mean, like,
I don't need another furry Eddie right now.
Yeah.
Don't do it to me, Mezco. Don't
like
do
a
it.
snowman suit Eddie or something, like a.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get it, man. I would. Yeah, I would take the hit. and just do that, on top of everything, because those things, I know the holiday Gomez came back around. They've done it for the last two, but I do think they took some of this stuff in consideration because like we were getting charged, and I know some of that stuff's in the shipping queue, but it was like charge, pre-order, charge. It's like it seems like they kind of slowed down a little bit. I still think it's going to ramp up, here in a little bit. So it was nice to have a little break.
Like 1 week. I mean, because you got hammered last week with Roadblock and Godzilla last week, right?
Yeah, and I know a lot of people didn't order Godzilla, but it's been pretty consistent, over the last couple weeks. This week, I mean, unless you're a Chucky fan, I mean, you're pretty good, right? You didn't really nothing, knock on wood, so far.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe at the end of this week we do get a charge for something, or next week. Those are some big sets. So I'll say it again: be prepared. And who knows? You might get an email. You might get an email saying, "Hey, we're going to be charging on this day." I would definitely say really keep an eye out Thursday and Friday, because you know how they usually do it is they'll send an email saying that it's going to charge on this day, and it's usually Monday or Tuesday. They'll send out something on Thursday or Friday, say, "Hey, we're charging this day," and we haven't gotten anything yet. So just be prepared, because those sets, if you got them, they're pretty expensive, and then there's other stuff behind it.
Yeah.
So the Joker pre-order was last week too. Yeah, see, so we've had this lull this week.
That Joker.
Unless you're Chucky. You said, what's the Joker?
I said the Joker was so great last week. I mean, I already forgot about it. But it was so like it's sad. I know we're not getting it for a little bit, but I know CC ordered a Chucky, so he'll have that soon.
Yeah, me and dolls. Yeah.
Couldn't resist. What I mean?
Couldn't resist.
You see what I mean, though? It's like next.
Yeah.
Next. It's just, and it's cool. It's cool for business, but you don't really have a chance to. I noticed that. I noticed like people getting stuff, and they're just like, "This can't do this next. This can't do this next." It's like you didn't even spend some time with it, man.
We got to get Huskies on board with his Legion so he can get in for this next pre-order.
He's looking at Hey, Huskies, go to the Four Horsemen link. It's Four Horsemen Studios. Not saying you got to do it, but just take a look at. You get a better look at the figures that Paige was showing earlier, and it's hard to backtrack some of those other figures. But if you're gonna get any from this next wave, buy it directly from them, because BBTS marks everything up. Everybody marks everything up.
Yeah, don't
With-
don't
got
miss
to
out
pay
on
in
the
full.
pre-order.
You do have to pay in full.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, and if you're not part of the group, man, go join that group.
Yeah, the Cabal.
Yeah, dude. They not only that, but network in there, and once you, I mean, your reputation will carry over because
Yeah.
there'll be people that are Mezco collectors that are in there and they know you too. But
It's
network in that group, they take care of their people in there, man.
it's a good group. I mean, there's just like anywhere there's dicks, but it's it's a good. The Cosmic Legions are really badass too, Husky. Check those out. Those I don't. You guys don't do the Cosmic Legions, do you? Yeah.
Nah,
Mm.
I'm I really want to focus on, spending more time with some of this stuff. That stuff looks really great. It really does. I just I haven't even opened that pyramid head yet.
Here's some of the detailing that goes into just their swords, Husky.
That's his what you call it? That's his plug for a solo. He wants a solo shot.
No. God, no.
Money shot. There's
Money
your money shot.
It's not that impressive.
Oh, which figure did you get that with? Thistle Thor?
It was the ogre, that
Oh,
big.
he's got that sword? Okay.
Yeah, he came with his sword. He came with his bone sword. He came with a big hammer.
Bone swords are really nice. If you should look at the handle on that bone sword,
Yeah,
talk
like
about detailing.
this little bone
Pretty
knife.
crazy. Pretty crazy.
Please stop. He's begging. Make it stop.
Pretty crazy.
This.
Yeah, that thing.
And
is
all their
nice, man.
parts are they call it pop and swap. So you can they're really easy to customize. It's called what's it called? The Cabal.
Mythic Legions Cabal, I
the
think.
Cabal.
You can see like the leather wraps on Boba. Look at Boba's Instagram also. Boba's been going ham with Legions. He's a full-blown addict right now. So he's he's fiending. Poor guy. But
He has a great balance of doing that stuff too, where he
details on this shell piece for his back. It's like a shield in it. So back plate.
Boba does a good job of. That's what I was trying to say too. Like he does a great job of like using his art as a way to enjoy his figures as well. He builds dioramas and and he'll take pictures because he has to take pictures of the diorama, but he does that with he puts out a lot of photos. I don't know how he balances.
I don't want to. I'll let Boba can talk about what he did at Legions this year. I mean, if he wants to share that, but he was a little. Some of his stuff was a little active there. I don't want to steal your thunder, my friend, but
yeah, because I'm ready LegionsCon this weekend. I think a lot of people are saying that right now, and they saw some of the press go out for it. Yeah,
I saw. I don't know if you watched the video yet, but I just remember seeing his post, and he was like, "Oh my god, I can't even contain myself with this figure. I'm tired, but And then, oh, Boba said Boba had a couple of his dioramas at LegionsCon. He told me that were on his stuff. So he was just there as a fan. He was there as an artist as well.
Dang it. Keep doing that. I'm going to fix this layout. I got the Father Christmas for 4-H, great soft goods, sculpt accessories, articulation, relaxing areas. I should have some good shots with him. I bet he will.
No, yeah, Ian's going to crush it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see that, my friend.
Yeah.
Wolf King and Mythic. Oh, there we go.
I have a few dioramas represented by Wolf King and Mythic Customs table. Yeah, man. You're making good moves, man. Making good moves, positive waves in the community and across multiple communities, man. It's cool, man. It's good to see good things happen to good people, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I told you guys he was going places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That Boba was something special.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, is there anything you guys want to end on at all? Anything really quick? I was going to try to do guests, but we had such a packed show tonight. We'll try to make some time for that next week, but some good stuff, man. Some stuff. You guys got anything?
We put Ann to sleep.
It was
Yeah.
so riveting that she went hard. She couldn't contain herself.
Knocked her out
Like a
cold.
grave, and she just went down.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's funny.
Sometimes you can't tell. I'm not trying to put the business out there, but you can't tell if it's Oscar or her. You know, Frenchie, they like.
Oh, man.
It's probably because she's on the couch and just sleeping wrong. But
That's funny.
anyway, yes, Fauna, I see you, baby. All right, cool. Sign offs. We doing this?
Yeah.
Remember to help control the pet population. Please have your pet spayed or neutered.
Mm-hmm. MC.
Be kind and make friends if you want to make deals.
Yeah, this is true. Networking. Yeah. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. If you joined us live, if you popped in, popped out, if you're watching replay, appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for sharing your time with us. It's great. And remember, with all the characters, toy lines, and ways to get them, it's a great time to be a collector. So, what? I see you, baby. I see you. So find the thing that brings you joy in the hobby. And remember, if you can't, they're just toys. So have fun. I'm going to take you outside to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.